How's everybody doing? My name is Firefighter Alex Cole here at the Burlington Fire Department Headquarters Fire Station. Due to the fact that we've had to close our doors to the public due to everything that's going on right now, we miss you guys. We wish you guys the best right now, and we just want to give you guys a station tour since you guys can't come in and do one yourself. So we're going to get started here. Again, my name is Firefighter Alex Cole. At the Headquarters Fire Station, we have 3 different types of units. We have a ladder truck over there. You got your basic kind of engine right here, and then we've got a rescue squad over here. Daily, there's about 9 people here stationed here a day. 3 on each truck, except for the rescue squad, where we got 2 guys right now. But we'll start with a tour of engine 1 right here. So if you want to follow me over here. Like I said, there's 3 people assigned here: a driver, an officer, and a firefighter. So we'll make our way to the back seat of the fire truck now. So as you notice, there's 2 seats here. One of them is going to be utilized due to the fact that there's 3 guys on this truck. All of our equipment is back here. Everything that we would need for an emergency right away. We have all of our gear staged back here. We gotta, if a fire comes out or a fire alarm comes out, we've got to get that stuff on very quick. For fire calls, we have 1.5 minutes to get out the door, and on med calls, we have 1 minute to get out the door. So if you want to move back here, this is the pump panel of the fire truck. This is strictly just for the driver himself. He would control all of these buttons and levers that you see here. All of these levers most of them go to a different hose on the fire truck that when we pull the hose on a fire, we're able to tell him which hose we're pulling, and he can pull which lever to get water onto that hose. So that way we can put that fire out. We'll move to the first compartment here. Again, this is the driver's compartment. We consider this as the engineer's compartment. This has got everything that he would need in order to connect another hose line, connect from a hydrant into his fire truck through these hoses right here. We have a toolbox here. We got basic tools, screwdrivers, hammers, things that we would need on a daily basis to fix things. We'll move on to this middle compartment. On this middle compartment, we've got a different amount of things here. If we want to start here, we got ropes. For one's going to be utilized during like a rope rescue, and then one's going to be utilized as utility ropes, a rope that if we were on a second story of a house or up on the ladder truck, we would be able to get a tool from the ground to where we are by throwing out that rope. We have our water rescue equipment here due to floods and calls that involve water. We would have to put on life safety vest, water safety vests that you would use on a boat. We've got our decon equipment. After every fire, we have to decon. That way we can get all the contaminants off of our gear before we step foot into an environment that hadn't been affected by that fire. You got cones. We put cones around the trucks. That way people know, where not to go, and that way that we have a safe zone, so nobody can really come near that zone. This back compartment here, this compartment is really utilized for different kind of operations, more fire operations than wreck operations. If you look here, we have airbags here, along with airbag controls. These airbags are utilized if somebody is trapped underneath a vehicle or a heavy object. They can lift a very large amount of weight off of the victim, and we can get that victim out while it stabilizes that vehicle. You got a chainsaw here. This is considered a vent saw. So when we got to get up on a roof, and we've got to cut a hole into the roof so that our firefighters that are inside fighting the fire can see and not feel so much heat, because when we cut that hole, what's going to happen is all the heat and a lot of the smoke is going to lift up out of that hole, and it's really going to help our firefighters inside. Also in this compartment, you just have your basic gasoline, bar oil, different kind of bases for other kind of hoses and nozzles in here too as well. Down here, you're gonna have extra SCBA bottles. We put these in our air packs that you see when we got them on our backs. We have to carry spare just in case when we come out from a fire. You know, we probably utilize most of the air that's in that bottle, so we can just trade out, and we can go back in, or we can stage while the bottles that we use get filled. We have a CO2 extinguisher here. You can tell that it's a CO2 extinguisher by the fact that it's got this very large horn on the end of it. So we also carry multiple different kinds of fire extinguishers. If you want to move to the back with me, so like we saw on the other side on the pump panel, we had hoses up above the panel where the driver controls all the hoses. We also have more hoses back here as well. We have a large amount of hose on this fire truck because this fire truck's primary function is to be the crew that's going to put the fire out when we respond on a house fire. When we go to this compartment here, I'm sure most of y'all have heard of the jaws of life. That's exactly what these are. You've got the spreaders and you got cutters right here. If somebody's trapped inside of a vehicle, that's what these tools are going to be primarily used for. That way we can pop the door, spread the door apart, and this right here is going to be used to cut the hinges off the door so we can remove the door from the vehicle. In this compartment, just like you have in your home, we have to carry ladders as well. So we carry ladders along with other type of tools back here for we can use these poles right here that you see. We can use these here to check for fire extension into roofs and other parts of the structure that would be a little bit harder to reach. That way we can make sure that the fire is completely out before we tell everybody that the fire is out. All right, we'll move around to this side now. So in this compartment here, we've got two stabilizers right here. We would use those on a vehicle that is either on its roof or on its side. We would use this to stabilize so that it makes it a safe environment for us to work around, and we don't have to worry about the car falling on top of somebody or one of us to really hurt us. Here, also in this bottom part of the compartment, you see that we have a fan. This fan is used like we would put it at the front door of a house, and it would, when we turn it on, it's just going to push a lot of the smoke out of the structure, and that way it's easier to see inside that structure, and it's just going to push a lot of the smoke and other things out of the house. This is a Hurst Pump. This Hurst Pump is going to be used for the jaws and the spreaders and the cutters that I showed you in the back. That's how we're going to operate those tools. We'll move to the middle compartment now. So in this middle compartment, you're going to see a lot of tools that you've probably seen in your house that probably your dad has around his, like bolt cutters right here. You got a pick head axe here, sledgehammer. We carry a few tools that you've probably never seen before, like this Halligan bar here. We call these two the irons, because you got a Halligan bar connected to a flathead axe, and we're going to use these tools here to get into a home if the door is locked and there's no way to get into the home besides taking the door and forcing the door open. Those very long poles that I showed you in the back, this is just a shorter version of them. So this is what they pretty much look like. Again, you're just going to check for extension into roofs and other places with that. You got a Glassmaster right here. This Glassmaster we would use this on a vehicle accident. This blade right here that you see you could use it to take a windshield out of the vehicle. It'll cut all the way around the vehicle. You also have a window punch here to put in the window to punch out the window to make access into the vehicle. move to this compartment next. So along with fighting fires and running vehicle accidents, we are also medically trained. Everybody in the department is the EMT, emergency medical technician. So this compartment is pretty much designated to EMTs. So this bag here, this would be the bag that we would pull out on any med call that we run, whether it be an allergic reaction, chest pain, breathing difficulties. And it's got everything in here that we would need to treat those victims and to help those patients out. We do have some extra hose inside of this, as you can tell. This is just extra storage for hose. These 2 packs down here would be used to utilize in a structure that has multiple stories. So like high-rise structures and things like that, we would use these to go up onto the fire floor. Instead of stretching all those hoses up there, we just take those up there, connect into a system that they have in the stairwell, and it allows us to get water onto that fire. So now we're gonna head upstairs. All right, so now we're gonna make our way upstairs to the living quarters for the firefighters. You know, while we're here for a 24-hour period. So firefighters work a 24-48 type schedule. So we're here for 24 hours and we're off for 48 hours, which equals to being off for 2 days. When we make our way up here, you're going to see a lot of the things that you'd probably see in your common home, living room, kitchen, and bedrooms. So we'll make our way through this door right now. So we've got a hallway here that's going to lead into our sleeping quarters, and a hallway that's going to lead into our classroom. So we'll head into our classroom now. So just like you guys, when you go to school, you go to learn. Well, we have to learn all the time. We got to train and keep up on our knowledge, keep up on how to handle different situations, and just continue to develop skills and to develop into being a good firefighter. So when we make our way through here, we're going to make our way into the kitchen here. So in the kitchen, you're going to notice that it probably looks a lot like your home kitchen. The tables, the sinks, and just the ovens and microwave and cabinets. But also in our kitchen, we have our day room is what we call it, and this is where we can come and we can all sit down and watch TV together at night while we're kind of having a little bit of some chill time. We'll make our way through this way now, and as you can tell in here, we have our workout room, so we have to stay up on our fitness, make sure that we stay in shape. So we get an hour to work out between the hours of 4 to 5. Most of the time, it's the hours that we get that we have the time to work out. If you look in here, this is where our captains stay. This is considered the captain's quarters. They are one of the most highest ranks in the fire department that are still on shift with us, and so they get their own little living space to stay. All right. So that's the Burlington Fire Department Headquarters Fire Station. Thank you guys for watching. Again, we're sorry that we had to close the doors to the public. Hopefully this right here can help y'all still get the feel of a station tour without actually coming into to us. Just some things to remember. Check your smoke detectors in your homes. We just had time change not too long ago, so make sure that you checked your batteries in there and make sure that your smoke detectors are still good, that you have a smoke detector in every place that somebody in your home is going to sleep or live inside your home. So thank you.